Hi friends, hello, I'm Lindsey Wheeler and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking all things business. I get asked all the time about how I started my business, so I thought now's a good time. Let's tell our story of how this all started and give you a little glimpse of what it's like to do what I do. I never dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur. It just wasn't something that I thought about. My parents were entrepreneurs, but I always wanted to be a TV reporter. I worked really hard through college, got internships, and worked my way up from little tiny stations up to bigger markets, and I loved what I did. And I never envisioned not doing it. I just thought it's something that I would always do. But then I married a hunky army guy named Seth, and we had a son named Braxton, our first child. And I am a big believer that when you think you have things all figured out, God laughs. And he for sure laughed at me when I became a new mom, and I thought that I could juggle it all. I could be an award-winning journalist and a wife and mom and do all the things. And my perspective and my priorities completely shifted when I brought that little boy home. I didn't want to miss a second with him, as so many new moms can relate. I did go back to work. I had commitments and contracts. I went back to work for a year. But in that year, I found myself, I had once been so passionate about what I was doing, and I had lost some of that passion because I was trading it, I felt like, for time with my son. And I hated that. I would get him ready for the day, and I would race around and drop him off at daycare, and I would race all day long to try and get back to him. And I would just have these little moments in the morning and the little moments at night. And kudos to all the working moms out there, because it's hard. And if that is your choice, then my hat is off to you, because I did it for a year, and it was one of the hardest years of my life for sure. But I'm so grateful that my husband, Seth, who was going through Special Forces training at the time, that we agreed that this was an opportunity for me to take a little bit of a step back from my career and stay home with Braxton and our daughter, who I was pregnant with at the time, that I'd take a step back and I would be mom to them, but also dad, because my husband was getting ready to deploy. So I would be mom and dad and juggle all the things. For all the military wives out there, you understand what that's like. It's a lot. But I'm so grateful that I was able to do that I was able to take that step back, and I had that support from my husband. But if you have been a stay-at-home mom, you also understand that day very much feels like Groundhog Day. I went from having this job that there was never a dull moment. It was new every day. I was able to interview, presidents and governors and cover huge, big national stories, to now I was just cleaning up messes and trying to make it with just my eyeballs, above water is what it felt like most days, making it from one day to the next. It was definitely a huge culture shock and a huge shock to the system for me from what I had been used to for so many years. And so I felt like I was in the midst. I knew I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I knew that being there for the kids and being there for Seth was my most important role, but I also felt like I was missing something. When you find yourself singing the cartoon theme songs to yourself in the shower, or better yet, you are still watching the cartoon when the kids have left the room, you've officially lost your cool card and a little bit of what made you in becoming a mom. And so I knew that I was looking for something, but I thought that would sort of be on hold, that I would stay home until the kids got into school, and then I would have that second chapter of my career, whatever that looked like. But when Kenley was 3 and Braxton was 5, I found out about LuLaRoe. I was at a vendor event, and I met an amazing friend who is now a dear friend of mine. She was selling LuLaRoe, and I bought a dress. And as they say, the rest is history. I bought this incredible Julia dress. I can still picture it right now, this gorgeous Aztec. And for the first time after having that second baby, I felt amazing. And I felt so confident and sexy and beautiful in this dress that was so incredible, but yet so comfortable and I knew I wanted more of them. And more importantly, I wanted every woman to feel how great I felt. I wanted to share that and scream it from the rooftops. And so the girl who never had sold anything or ever thought about being an entrepreneur, I just had this feeling in my belly that I need to do that. And I don't know where that came from. Like I said, I'd never sold anything before. My background was being a journalist and, being a TV reporter, investigative reporter. It was not selling women's clothing for sure, but I just had this feeling. My husband, on the other hand, though, was super skeptical. He was like, just go buy some more dresses. He was getting ready to deploy. He was like, you don't have time for this. You have 2 kids. I'm going to be gone. I'm not here to help you. We had no family nearby. I didn't know anyone because I had been home with little kids in a new area. We lived outside of the military base. And so I didn't really have a community of people in Washington. I had basically every reason not to start a business, but I trusted that feeling in my gut. It didn't go away. And for me, it just got louder. And I Googled everything I could find about LuLaRoe. And at that time, there was not much out there. But I read every article or blog post that I could find. I called my dad and said, hey, would you loan me this money? Could I borrow this money? I think I want to start this business. And would you support me? And my dad is a sweetheart. He said, absolutely, I will write you a check. And so he sent me a check, and Seth still couldn't believe that I was going to do it. And I said, just don't worry about it. And I Googled LuLaRoe's phone number. That's how technical it was. I Googled LuLaRoe's phone number, and I got so lucky because who answers the phone but the owner of the company? This was 6 years ago, friends. So Deanne answered the phone, and if you've ever been around her, she is the most charismatic, inspiring person you will ever meet. And, a 10-minute phone call with her in our back bedroom, talking to her, I can remember it like it was yesterday. I was like, I want to do this. Not only do I want to do this, but I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to figure it out, but I'm going to do this. And so I started a business, probably when I shouldn't have, right? There's never a good time probably to start a business or to have children, but we do it anyways because we feel so passionately about it. And 3 days later, those boxes arrived. And like I said, I didn't know anyone. We had no family nearby. I had no one to watch my kids while I started a business. But I'm a big believer that if you are looking for an excuse, you will find one. But if you're looking for a way, you will find one too. And Seth being a little skeptical and telling me that he would probably be crawling over these boxes of clothes in our garage in 6 months was a really good kick in the pants. It was a fire in my belly to prove him wrong. He is my biggest cheerleader, and I could not do what I do today and would not have built the business that I have without being partners with him and without his support. But at the time, he was understandably skeptical about how could I possibly do this. He was going to be gone. We had no help. We didn't know anybody. I'd never done this before. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that he had those reservations about starting a business because it lit a fire in my belly to do the work. And that's what being a small business owner is all about. It's about doing the work even when there aren't rewards. It's about feeling so passionately about what you do that you are willing to make the sacrifices. I sacrificed so much sleep. I didn't watch a single episode of Grey's Anatomy for years and years, and it had been my favorite show. I was willing to make the sacrifices to find the time in a day that there didn't seem like I had any extra time. But I got up early with my husband, and I found little pockets of time in the morning before my kids got up and during a nap time and after kids went to bed at night that I worked my business. And slowly but surely, I built a business, but it was a slow start for me. And I think that's a big piece that people forget when building a business is being your own boss is the greatest gift, but it is also the hardest job you'll ever have. I will never work for someone else again, but I will never blow smoke at you either and tell you that it's easy. But sacrificing my time or sacrificing some sleep and working hard to build dreams and to see those dreams come true for our family, instead of working to reach goals for a network, there is just nothing like it. Working for us has been the greatest gift and something that I will always, always cherish. But like I said, it was not a sprint for me. It has been a marathon. I've been in business now 6 years. And when I first started, I didn't know anyone in my area. We didn't even have a babysitter to help. I had zero social media following. I'd been off social media for 2 years beforehand because our internet was so bad at the house we lived at when we first moved to Washington that it just wasn't even worth it. So I hadn't been on social media, and to think that I was going to build this business where you'd need to know some people and probably, build some social media following, I didn't have any. So I think I'm proof that no matter where you are, you can build a business. But here's the disclaimer. Your business may not look like mine. My results are not typical. It is what you put into it because you are not me and I am not you. So our businesses won't look the same. But I'm a big believer that this opportunity is so special. I believe that anybody can build a business with LuLaRoe, and I absolutely love what I do. But starting out, it was not easy. It still isn't easy, but I get up every day and I love what I do. And I think that is so powerful. I love opening those new boxes. I love the connection that I get to have with the incredible customers I've met all over the country. And I love seeing the impact that it's had on their lives. I've loved seeing their self-confidence grow through these clothes like I knew that they would. And I love seeing the incredible positive impact that this business has had on so many of our team members who have started businesses all over the country. But like I said, for me, starting out, I had to call my mom and ask her to like my photos. I had to get one person to share these clothes that they loved with their sister, who then told somebody else. I mean, I built relationships one person at a time. But consistency compounds. And I put my head down and I worked during those long deployments that my husband was in Afghanistan and in harm's way. It gave me a focus on something that I could control, which was the effort that I put into this business and serving my customers to the very best of my ability. And slowly but surely, we built a business, and I am so incredibly grateful for LuLaRoe, for this opportunity, for the incredible community that we have in our customers, but also in our teammates. I think that is something so special about LuLaRoe. This is a community of men and women who support each other, who help each other, who are not in competition, who are always striving to help other people achieve more. We believe that the acronym for TEAM is something that we go by, which is together everyone achieves more. And I am so incredibly grateful for the LuLaRoe community and for our team. I love being able to link arms and share ideas and bounce ideas off of each other to help best serve our customers and grow our businesses and reach our goals. Being your own boss is hard work, but it truly is the most amazing decision I've ever made for our family, and it has blessed us in incredible ways. We now get to live in this beautiful place we call home, this tiny little postage stamp town in Montana, because we are our own boss, because we make the decisions of where we work and when we work. And we're so grateful to be able to give that gift of being kids just a little bit longer to our children, and to be able to run this business from anywhere. As a military wife, that's such a blessing to be able to pack up and move if you need to and take the business with you. My husband is now retired, and he helps me and works side by side with me to grow this business and serve our community. And I'm so grateful that this truly has become a family business for us. I love what I do, and I truly believe that with much is given, much is expected, and I want to pay forward that gift. So if you've ever thought about starting your own business and you think LuLaRoe might be a good fit for you, we're an open book. If there are any questions that we can answer, I'm going to put my email down below, as well as a form that you can fill out to let us get to know you a little bit better to see if this might be a good fit. I love being my own boss. It's hard work. It is hard work, but I absolutely love what I do. I love the community that I get to do it with, and I would love to get to know you more if you think this might be a good fit for you too.